What's up, guys? This is another one of those videos where I do my updates on my fishing arsenal, like my rods, my fishing reels. Had a couple requests, so I'm actually missing some of my reels. They're still being serviced right now by one of my buddies, so I'm just gonna show you guys my rod setups for what I have in plan for 2019. We're gonna start off my spinning combos here. So I actually increased my setup from 2 to 3 now, so let's get started. Alright, we're gonna start off with this one here. It's actually my new one, and I'm really pumped for this one. It's a new rod. This is the Shimano Poison Audrina. It's so gorgeous looking. If you guys keep up with Shimano, this is their newest Poison series, or the newer version of the Audrina. And this one is 6'7", medium light. I believe like a regular fast action. It's not like extremely fast or anything like that, but this one here is for my finesse application. Around last year, I started fishing very lightweight lures, like maybe 1/20th ounce or 1/16th ounce jig head with like a grub. You guys watched my smallmouth fishing video. That's what I was throwing in the Wisconsin River, and I've been really successful at that. However, when I threw those kind of weight on a medium spinning rod, it didn't feel too right, so I want to go lighter for, lighter finesse application, and I truly believe that this is gonna benefit me a lot this year. So I'm really excited for it, especially with I'll show you guys what the rod looks like up close here. It's amazing, and we'll talk about the reel in a bit here. It's a little bit different too. So these rod series here, the Audrina here, came out last year. I was really intrigued by how they designed like the button right here. Look how sensitive it is. It's all like carbon right here. Really cool. You got your Fuji stick guides here. But this is actually my second Audrina rod. I had the first gen one. I had the 7'2" medium heavy. It was a glass rod, so it was like my deep crank setup. But I sold that rod because I didn't crank deep enough, so I got rid of that rod. Probably should have kept it, But going to the reel, it's the Shimano Stratic. But this is a 2000 series. It's not. I have two 2500 series, but I want to go a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller. This reel here doesn't hold a lot of line. The line capacity is actually really small. It's like 4-pound mono or floor for around barely 100 yards. I spooled on 8-pound Seaguar and VizX. If I'm lucky, I got maybe 70 or 80 yards, but I'm not too worried about line capacity because I'm not trying to bomb my bait too far, as I'm using really lightweight lures. So this should be a really fun setup, on the rivers or just anything in lakes. So I'm really looking forward to using this setup here. Alright guys, moving on to my second spinning combo. I have a 6'8" medium Shimano X Pride. This was basically my favorite, most used setup last year, besides my jig setup. But as I was saying earlier, I was throwing very lightweight. This is like a 1/16 or a 1/20th ounce jig head with a grub right here, about 3.5 inch. So again, I was saying it didn't feel too right throwing lures as this light on this kind of setup. That's why I went and bought the medium light setup, and I think it's gonna make a huge difference when when I'm trying to cast this out. So, and my other setup too, I'm not going braid with a leader this time, fluorocarbon leader. My medium light setup, the Audrina, I'm just going straight up fluorocarbon. So the casting should be a lot better as well. Again, it's on with a 2500 model reel, size reel. But this was basically my best one last year for catching smallmouth. So it was really fun. I think it's better suited for like wacky rigs or some light jigs, stuff like that. Alright guys, moving on to my third and last spinning combo setup. It is the drop shot, and this is probably the rod I've had the longest out of all my rods here. I've had rods here and there, but I've been upgrading like crazy this past year, so forgive me if you guys don't recognize any sort of like old setups or anything like that. But I still have some my bait tied on. I should cut it off and retie it, but it looks fine to me. I had a Z-Man trick shot there. This is a Shimano Kumara 7'2", the drop shot model, and again I have this paired up with a Stratic again, 2500 series model, and I've been slowly getting to drop shotting. I just don't really get a chance to throw much because I don't fish too deep, but it no, it doesn't mean that you can fish drop shot deep or shallow. It's just when it comes to fishing, I'd rather throw my grub, or I don't really drop shot enough for smallmouth because the river, just so much rocks in there that I get tangled in there all the time. So I tend to kind of stay away from drop shotting, but I have caught fish on drop shots, and then, it does get it gets fun. But I think I just need a better opportunity, or dedicate some more time into drop shotting. But it's a good setup there. It's nice and light, and Kamaras are one of my favorite rods. But it's discontinued. It's really, really hard to find those rods, and even if you find them, a used one can still go up to like $200 or more, especially depending on on the condition of that rod. But I was lucky enough, I found that rod a few years ago, so I've just kept it. And if you guys watched one of my previous videos on my setups, I had two of them. I had a shaky head model, but I was being dumb and I broke the tip of that, so lost that rod. But yeah, guys, those are my spinning setup. 6.7 medium light for like ultra light finesse applications. I got 6.8 medium for wacky rigs, light jigs, shaky heads, and I had my 7'2" medium drop shot rod. So that's for fishing. I use the drop shot for like deeper water applications, but I have fished it here and there out of some shallow. But when it comes down to deep water fishing, like 10+ feet, I always go for the drop shot. Alright, next we're going to talk about my baitcaster setups out. Again, I don't have all my reels for these rods right now, so I'm just basically going to tell you guys, I have bought the reels from them, or I do have them somewhere else. Again, my friend's cleaning like half my reels right now, so shout out to him. But for now, I'll just go over these rods with you guys. I would say, let me see, 1, 2, 3. 3 of these rods are brand new, so I'm really pumped too. Wait till you guys see them. I'm just gonna grab one. Then this is in no particular order or anything. I'm just grabbing them. This one right here is the 610 medium Shimano Poison Glorious. I was really, really pumped up when I decided to pull the trigger on this rod here. If you guys don't know, this is one of the flagships, high-end rods of Shimano, and it's really hard to get these. You can only get these in from Japan. So I've wanted these rods for a very long time, and earlier this year I just said, I'm just gonna pull the trigger and get the rod. So I bought the rod, and I'm really impressed with it. It's so light, really, really light. I also forgot to mention that for the Poison series for Shimano, it's upside down. Sorry, but it's a crossover between Jacko and Shimano. So I really love this combination. I love the Poison series. You see, you got the CI4 reel seat here, and it's like a medium fast action rod. So this is gonna be my small like chatterbait and spinnerbait setup here, and basically whatever else I feel like throwing on it. For the reel, I'm not too sure what I want to put on this one yet. Maybe a Metanium MGL, or I also pre-ordered the Antares MGL, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really stoked to use this. Plan to use this for small chatterbaits, spinnerbaits. I don't really throw anything over ½ ounce, or I barely throw ½ ounce, so I usually stick around the 3/8 ounce range. And I think this rod's gonna be perfect for it. It has like a medium fast action tip to it, so the hook set should be really good there too. Moving on to my next rod, we have another X Pride here. This is the first generation Shimano X Pride, 7'2" heavy. It's a frog edition one. Even though this is my frog rod, I use it for other application too. When it comes to like fishing heavy cover, I pitch or flip with this, and I love throwing swim jigs with this. I've been getting 2 swim jigs lately too, so it's a good way of catching largemouths with like lily pads and whatnot. This here is basically one of my heavy workers here. They do all the heavy lifting. I did purchase a new heavy rod, and I'll show you guys in a second here. So this new rod I purchased, it's not Shimano. It is a Megabass, the Megabass Destroyer. Forgot which. I think it's the JDM version one, the Japanese version one. I think I'm saying this right. False model Destroyer, 7'3", heavy and fast action. So this is gonna be my new frogging rod, and maybe I'll start throwing some swim baits on this. This is the longest rod I ever purchased, 7'3". I'm only 5'6", so I don't really feel the need to be throwing like any rods longer than 7'3" maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll expand in the far future, but I feel it's short enough. So these rods are long enough for me here. But this is one of my new rods here from Japan. It's probably my heaviest rod. I checked some info on it, some specs, and it weighs around like 4 ounces, I believe. 4 or maybe 6. I think 6. I'm not too sure, but it's heavy. I haven't used it yet, so I can't really tell you guys how it feels like until maybe at the end of this year. So again, that one is one of my new rods I got this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. If I compare that to my X Pride, I'm gonna have to say that the X Pride is like a lot lighter, guarantee. Moving on to my next rod here, another Shimano Poison Glorious. This time it's a 6'11" medium heavy. So I've always kind of wanted a second jig rod or a bottom contact rod with really good sensitivity. Again, it's a Glorious. It's got Torzite guides, extra sensitivity, very very lightweight, a lot lighter than my my 13 Fishing Archangel rod. Again, it's a really high end rod, and got that amazing butt there. Just that vibration is crazy when this goes all around. Like the whole handle here, it's supposedly all carbon material here, but it's really cool. Again, you got the CI4 real seat here. Again, I can't say too much about it since I haven't really fished it, but I am looking forward to it. And the reason why I got 6'11" medium heavy is because I do a lot of kayak fishing, and sometimes it's not the easiest to cast sitting down a kayak or even when you're standing up, just because you're so low to the water. So having a little bit of a shorter rod, it should help me to have like a better accuracy and aiming when it comes to like pitching and whatnot to like covers. But I'm really looking forward to that. For this next setup here, we have the good old crankbait rod. Again, Shimano X Pride. It's a 7-foot medium glass. So this guy has been killer for me when it comes to cranking. See how dirty the handle is? Not quite dirty yet, but it's getting there. I crank a lot. When I first started fishing, I caught my first smallmouth on a crankbait. So I fell in love with cranking, and I highly recommend getting a glass rod or even like a moderate fast action rod will do the job for cranking. But I know a lot of people think that glass rods are heavy, but if you invest in a good rod like the Shimano X Pride here, it's relatively lightweight. It's really light, and it's been really good to me. The reel I had on this one was the Metanium DC, and come to think of it, I have 3 Metanium MGOs, 2 Metanium DCs, Antares MGO coming up, and a Chronarch MGO. So I think I have enough reels to cover all these rods. I think I should, but I can't get too specifics about my combo setups until I get my half my reels back from my buddy. So just look forward to at the end of the year video, like reviews and setups on what I used this year. But going to my last and final setup, this is my Jig Rod. Some of you guys probably already know, but this is the 13 Fishing Archangel, the highest end rod that 13 Fishing has to offer. It's another JDM rod, and it's been ever since I started jig fishing about 2 years ago. I've been using this guy nonstop. I jig fish like a lot, crazy, and this rod has been really good to me. Also has Torzite guides, and the reel I had on this when I was using it was the Metanium MGO 8-to-1 gear ratio, and I was using 20-pound Seaguar Red Label. So I am trying to look for some new jig fishing line. I think maybe I'll downgrade 17. I'm not too sure. We'll see. I heard maybe Seaguar Vizex, at least 17 or 20 pound might be good for that. I'm not too sure, but I've got to explore and do some testing on jig fishing line here. But yeah, guys, sorry, it's not a very long video. Again, I don't have my reels here, so I can't get too specific about it. And half of these rods here are new, so I haven't really fished them. I almost forgot about these 3 rods here. I have 3 more, but I'm actually selling these rods because ever since I upgraded, I probably won't use this. I may use this one. I'm not too sure. We'll see. If I have no buyer, I'll probably just keep this one for jerkbait. This is actually my jerkbait setup. It's a 6'8" JDM Megabass Orochi XX, and I used this maybe 1 or 2 outing. I just didn't get the opportunity to jerkbait a lot last year. So it just kind of sat, collected dust a little bit. And I have 2 newer rods here. Another Orochi, Megabass Orochi XX. This is 7'2", perfect pitch model. I had the I had a Diablo spec, excuse me, and I broke the tip of that. And when I sent it into Megabass for replacement, they actually ran out of stock for the Diablo spec. I can't say that word. So Megabass asked me to choose which rod I want, and I decided to grab the perfect picture. I don't think I've used this at all. It's still really clean. It was towards the end of the season too, and last year my fishing hours and time dropped down drastically just because I got a new job and new hours, so I didn't get a lot of time to go out and fish. And here's another Orochi XX by Megabass. This is the 7'2" Diablo spec. I loved it so much back then. When I broke my first one, I actually went and bought a new one here. So again, my work hours just took over, and I just couldn't have time to fish as much as I wanted to. And there's so much family and friends event going on that my fishing just went down last year. So I'm hoping this year I will have more time to fish. But I am actually, like I said, I am selling all three of my Orochi XX rods. I'll post it on my Facebook page if any of you guys are interested. I'm just trying to get rid of these at a reasonable price. These retail for like $300, so I'm putting them for like $270. Or you get all three of them for $700. Just trying to get rid of these. So again, if I can get rid of, if I can't sell my JDM Orochi one, I'll just keep it for jerkbait purposes. But again, I don't have my reels here, so I can't really show you guys, the type of setup that I'm planning to do. I kind of just talk about it's just speculation right now, but I am really looking forward to fishing this year. And I'm hoping at the end of this year or maybe midsummer, I can show you guys my full setup once I get everything here and completed. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry if I sound a little sick here. I'm just getting over the cold flu I just got earlier this week. But 4 more months, guys. 4 more months. We're almost done with January. It's almost February, so maybe 3.5 months. It's really cold. Stay warm out there, guys. And you guys are ice fishing, good luck. Stay warm. Be safe and have fun. And I'll catch you guys out in open water. Peace.